This is North Georgia's News Talk.
WDUN. This girl is on fire.
I got to tell you folks out there listening to Game On this Friday, I wish I was on fire. I am actually freezing. I don't know when it's going to click with me that when you come to the arena at Gwinnett Center for a hockey game, you know, they play hockey on ice, that it might be a little chilly. You can't have 70-degree temps in the arena when you're trying to keep something frozen. But no, ADB never listens to anyone. So here I am, absolutely freezing. The girl that is on fire is freezing. But so happy to be at the arena at Gwinnett Center, broadcasting live this Friday evening ahead of the Glads Everblades game. They're actually just about to drop the puck and get the game kicked off tonight, starting the Pink in the Rink weekend festivities. Wonderful thing they're doing, wrangling up donations to give to many nonprofits, and they're doing the Chuck-a-Puck. Kroger giving away a $600 gift card tonight. There's a lot of great things happening at the arena at Gwinnett Center, and there are tons of people here to enjoy it. Boy, they've been filing in these doors now for the better part of an hour, and it's great to see. Hey, the Buford boys and girls basketball teams one win away from playing for state titles, and we're going to have both of their Class AAA state semifinal games on AM550 Saturday as the boys take on Callaway, the girls Pike County. You can listen to all the action beginning at 3 from Georgia College and State University on AM550 WDUN. Now, next week, right here where we are broadcasting live from, the arena at Gwinnett Center, the women's SEC basketball tournament will begin. The ACC women's basketball tournament also happening up in Greensboro. And over the next few shows, we'll have area athletes on who are participating in those tournaments. And we want to start with Vanderbilt sophomore guard Jasmine Jenkins. She played her high school hoops at East Hall. You all remember her well. I was able to catch up with Jasmine yesterday before her team took to the court for practice. And I was curious right off the bat how her team, how the Lady Commodores have improved heading into next week's SEC tournament.
Well, I feel like we've improved more as a team. We know each other, and, you know, we built our chemistry since the Christmas tournaments to, you know, the tournaments in March, which is what is most important. We've gone on a little skid, but I think that the skid has done nothing but bring us closer. You know, every team struggles. I mean, it's basketball. You know, teams are going to lose sometimes. But I think we've decided the right road to go down, and that's to come together and really fight for our seniors and for each other. When you think about the SEC tournament that's coming up, who's the biggest competition? Like, who's the team that you all have faced this year that's given you the most headaches matchup-wise? Honestly, to be quite honest, any team is really kind of a matchup problem. If you look at the SEC, there's 14 teams, and there's only 7 places in the sense that there's South Carolina first, and then you have 2 teams tied for second. You have like 3 or 4 teams tied for third, and then so on and so forth. So, I mean, but if I had to be specific, it would definitely be South Carolina, simply because of their post play. Their post players are amazing, and they just have them come in off the bench, and you know, every single one of them can produce big numbers at any given moment. I think at the beginning of the season, everyone who's a women's college basketball fan, and if you are one, then you are a fan of women's college basketball in the Southeastern Conference, along with the ACC, the 2 greatest women's basketball conferences in the land, no doubt. Expected Kentucky to be a bigger dog than they've been. Expected Tennessee maybe to be a little more dominant than they've been. You all able to beat Tennessee, played Kentucky very well. South Carolina, an absolute surprise team. Were they a surprise team to you all, too, that they're now number 1 in the SEC standings? I wouldn't say that they were necessarily a surprise team in the SEC, but definitely a surprise team on the national stage. I mean, they're ranked, 4th in the AP polls right now, and I can definitely say I didn't expect them to, you know, just make it to the national scene as far as being ranked 4th in the nation. But, yeah, so I mean, everybody expected them to be good because they were so young last year. and they have experience.
All right, I got to know this. Melanie Balcom, one of my favorite coaches in the SEC. I love her demeanor during games. Now, I'm sure that the cameras don't catch her ripping into y'all. I'm sure that happens sometimes. But tell our listening audience, Jasmine, how the mentality, the mode of practice has sort of ramped up as you all get closer and closer to tournament time.
At the beginning of the season, obviously, when we're playing, when we're just getting started, the practices are more like they're longer, they're more intense. You have to get it done. But now it's more intricate, if you do say so, in the sense that, you know, the details matter. Every single detail matters now at this point. You know, we're not trying to rip and run anymore and get in shape, even though it may not seem that way sometimes in practice. But every detail matters, you know, because, I mean, let's say someone didn't set a screen at the timing they were supposed to set it. It matters for that last second shot that can determine whether or not we get into NCAAs or whether we win the SEC championship. You know, every little thing matters now. You
mentioned the skid that you all have been on and losing 4 of your last 5. What's it going to take to reverse that, Jasmine? How do you get back on a winning streak? How do you build momentum for next week?
Well, honestly, I think it's just where you have to look inside yourself, look in the mirror a little bit, and then also look inside your teammates' eyes and say, well, why did we start playing basketball to begin with? Like, why was it fun? You know, you have to play for that little girl inside of you or for the other little girls that look up to you. And then you have to make an agreement with your teammates, like, hey, well, this season's not over. We're not done. Yeah, we tripped and we fell, but are we going to get up is the question. So I think just remembering why you played. I mean, because, like I said earlier, basketball is basketball. You win some and you lose some. But just never forget why you started playing, because when you have that passion and, when you and your teammates have that passion to drive you, if you already have the skill and the talent level, then that's all you really need is just to say, hey, I remember why I used to play basketball. Because it definitely is a long season, so you just have to keep that in the back of your head.
Have you always been this introspective?
Well, I don't know. I think it got more introspective as I realized that there's more to life than just basketball sometimes.
Because, at East Hall, I'll be honest with you, like you're kind of a goof. Like you were the funny kid, the class clown.
I guess, I don't know. I guess it's the perks of being a Vandy kid now.
All right, I hear you. Hey, listen, it's always great talking to you. I appreciate you giving me a call. Best of luck to you the next 2 games, and, of course, in the SEC tournament. You got a whole contingency up here in North Georgia that's pulling for you and, therefore, pulling for the Vanderbilt Lady Commodores. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Again, SEC Women's Basketball Tournament begins Wednesday right here at the arena at Gwinnett Center. That was Jasmine Jenkins, sophomore guard for Vanderbilt, former player for East Hall. Earlier today, I spoke with Kayla Davis of the Georgia Tech Lady Yellow Jackets, and they'll be participating in the ACC Women's Basketball Tournament next week in Greensboro. We'll bring you that conversation on Monday. Kayla, one of the standout freshmen in the league, not just for Georgia Tech, but in the ACC. And what's interesting about her being one of the standouts in the ACC is the other 2 players she's competing with most for ACC Freshman of the Year are also from Gwinnett County, and that's Diamond DeShields, who played at Norcross, and Lexi Brown, who played at North Gwinnett. Lexi Brown starting point guard for Maryland, Diamond DeShields starting 3 guard, small forward, if you will, for the University of North Carolina. And if that right there doesn't make folks around here proud, I don't know what possibly could. Kayla obviously went to Norcross, played at Norcross, won a state championship there, transferred to Buford, won a state championship at Buford as well with Christina Nelson playing the center, Andrea Carter running the point for that Buford team. And we know what Andrea is doing up in Tennessee. So, just great to hear all of these names we're so familiar with from the hard court in Gwinnett County, at least the high school hard court, doing great things at the college level. And, boy, Kayla Davis, Jasmine Jenkins, Lexi Brown, Diamond DeShields, Andrea Carter, all of them doing big, big, big things. All right, folks, when we come back, we're going to check in at the Phoenix International Raceway. They're doing a different kind of qualifying for Sunday's Sprint Cup race. And some of the drivers have very interesting things to say about what that type of qualifying is like for them this evening. Come on back and join us. This is Game On live from the arena at Gwinnett Center on in North Georgia's News Talk, WDUN.